In baseball, a catcher is arguably the most underappreciated player on the field. His grit, tenacity, and balance of emotions behind the plate are expected at all times.
I remember Ron as a very intense competitor, and he was a quiet but effective leader on our team.
I can't really remember too many times any of the teams even trying to steal second base when they got on first, because they knew that there was a real good chance they were going to be thrown out.
Webb, from the class of 1972, played for the Wildcats from 1969 until 1972, starting a career 100 games.
Ron definitely had a game face, so we knew that when he stepped between the lines, he meant business.
But if there was one person that never really cooled off at any time of the season, it was Ron.
Ron Webb shone brightest during the postseason, producing one of the most decorated careers in Linfield baseball history. Webb received all-conference and all-district honors 3 consecutive seasons from 1970 through 72, but it was his magical 71 season when Webb truly was a cut above the rest. As the playoffs arrived, Webb always seemed to elevate his game to another level. His combined playoff statistics reveal some remarkable numbers. In 12 postseason games, he hit .428 with 20 RBIs, 2 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs.
There probably isn't a guy alive that could throw a fastball by him that he couldn't hit.
He set the tournament record at the time for most hits in a tournament, 13 hits. In 6 games, and we faced some very good pitchers. A couple of them went on to pitch in the major leagues.
In leading Linfield to a national championship in 1971, Webb produced behind the plate and in the batter's box. The school's second NAIA championship came as a result of a dominant season by Webb. He hit a team-leading average of .401 with 7 home runs. He was chosen to represent Linfield on the All-Region, All-America, and National Tournament teams. Yet the highest individual accomplishment he achieved was being named Most Valuable Player of the National Tournament, helping Linfield edge David Liscombe University 9-8 in 10 innings for the title.
As our catcher, Ron had to manage our pitching staff. And this was a really talented group of pitchers, but to say it kind of gracefully, they were a free-spirited bunch of guys. And I think Ron's handling of them and make that group successful, I think that warrants in and of itself his selection to the Hall of Fame, if not some sort of baseball sainthood, because that was a tough job.
Defensively, he spearheaded one of the most memorable, if risky, plays of the year. A pickoff throw to the Wildcats' freshman shortstop to tag out the leadoff runner in a tense, late-inning tie game situation. Visitors to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, will find some Linfield Wildcat memorabilia along with Webb's photograph from the 1971 season. Prior to his senior campaign in 1972, Webb married his sweetheart, Sharon. They have been together for 45 years. After graduation from Linfield, Webb played baseball professionally, first with the Portland Mavericks in the summer of 1973, then with 3 different semi-pro teams over 6 seasons. In 1976, Webb was chosen as a member of the NAIA's 20th anniversary all-tournament team. Webb also was an assistant coach at Linfield, Hillsborough, and Glencoe high schools before taking the head coaching job at Glencoe. In 1997, Webb was appointed Century High School athletic director, a job he held until his retirement in 2004. Webb's efforts in the community stretch far beyond what would be considered typical. He served as a volunteer fireman, coached Little League camps, and directed and coached Hillsborough Little Guy baseball camps. An educator for 30 years for the Hillsborough School District, Webb has touched the lives of many youth in his community. Today, Webb spends his days in retirement as an accomplished fisherman and duck hunter.
So Ron, on behalf of everyone that played with you, we're all very, very proud of the fact that you got in as an individual into the Linfield Hall of Fame.
We're all behind you, and you really added to lifetime memories that we all share.